Good morning. Hey, badass. Yeah, I'm here. I'm just waiting for people to come in. So, give me a minute to kind of let more people come in, and then we'll start. Yeah, I'm awake. Let me just type in the chat here. Good morning, guys. I'm here. Just waiting for people to come in. Hey, Carbon Q. Good morning to you. Thank you for the buy me a coffee yesterday. I just noticed it this morning. Good morning, my Renaissance grandma. Yeah, here we go. I got my water ready, and I got some watermelon juice. So I have two left, so that will be done today. I got to make some more. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Lala. My goodness, sometimes I can see good, sometimes I can't see nothing good. You're at that age where it's like, my goodness. Yeah, last night again this morning. I am tired today, not because I went out last night, had we had this meeting and a group session. Very exciting, very inspiring. You know, you're around people that just get you hype. They just get you so hype for, doing things and moving forward and just, you know, just really get you encouraged. And it's just like you can't sleep. You can't sleep. Hey, morning, Miss AKA lady. Could not sleep. Then my sister texted me. She's like, "Are you still up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm up." So she called me. Cause I'm like, I can't sleep. I'm just hype, really hype. Hey, good morning, Cena Renee. Haven't seen you in a while, but I've been watching your stuff. So good to see you. My throat's a little raspy. It's getting raspy all the time, mind you. But how's everybody doing this morning? It's October. And the first day of the month is always great for me because it's rent day. It's rent. That's when you get your rent. Hopefully they pay on time. But good morning, Erica. Good morning, Krabby the Beagle, sorry. And it's a good morning. It's cold, it's brisk. I just went on my veranda to check my cabbages. I still have stuff, growing. They're not ready yet. They were stunted, the drought. Anyways, but I saw a lot of black dots in there, so that's like there's a worm in there. So I'm gonna have to spray some BT on there or some neem, well, something on there to get those worms. It doesn't matter. There are less bugs now than summer, yes, but they're still trying to eat your food. And because there's so much food out, these butterflies are still laying their eggs. So congratulations, Erica. I didn't realize that you started your own channel. I know you had your own profile, but so I watched your video. So good for you. You're doing your own channel. So that's good to see. So make sure you drop your link, Erica. You guys can type #urban so you guys can connect with each other. And she also has her own channel. So she needs to build her own family members. You pulled 6 watermelons. Oh, that sounds fantastic. I'm still drinking. Yeah, as you guys know, I'm doing a detox. I'm doing a cleanse. I realized how powerful watermelon juice is. I never really was into watermelon, and the stereotype with watermelons and black people. Well, if you don't know, that's so it's kind of like I don't want watermelon just to be anti that, but watermelon is very good for your body. So I've been drinking it. Let me see what fall is among us. The storm brought us cooler weather. First day in the low 70s in months. Okay. I like the cooler weather. I don't like winter. I don't like that, but I do like fall, autumn. I love it. I love the changing leaves. My sorrel, though, it's in the front entrance. Let's do a bit of gardening talk just to start. They're doing well, but some of the leaves are turning. Hold on, my sister. Bear with me. Let me check if it's important. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, hey, good morning, zombie prepper, and good morning, rustic outdoors. Good morning, Miss Queen T in the building. And everybody else, just to remind you, you drop hashtag urban. That's the only thing that's not updated in my I'm gonna do a banner for that so that you guys can see. Okay, so it is dropping the link. Okay, good morning to you all. So they're changing color, like the sorrel leaves are turning fall. So I just gave it some fertilizer, some dissolvable fertilizer, like 12 something something. And the front entrance does get cold at night, but I cannot possibly heat the whole house for five plants. That's just, and I already told you last night, the heating company sent us notifications, and mine's going up $55 effective, basically the payment that's due at the beginning of October. So I've been meaning to invest in a kerosene heater in general, just for, like, emergency purposes. I think I'm gonna I think I'm going to find one sooner than later, because I can, at night I can put the kerosene heater in that entrance area, we call it a vestibule area, and let the heat keep the plants warm enough. Because, good morning, OCD is shit. I've come too far. I've worked too hard to get the sorrel, and they're actually forming sorrel on it, the calyx, to lose it. Next year, I think, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because the problem I'm having is when you bring your plants inside from outside, you're bringing in bugs. And you're giving the bugs basically a Shangri-La. They're in the heated environment. They're just going to breed. Like, we all know how that goes. I don't want to deal with that. But because the sorrel is so important, and the fig tree, I have to make compromise and just bring them in the house. So they're in the house right now. The stereotype is rooted in jealousy, because Black people in the early 20th century South had a very successful. Exactly. And I didn't know that. I didn't. A lot of the history, you have to research it for yourself, or otherwise you don't get the information. Exactly. They were profitable business. But yeah, it's October. I love October. I love fall, autumn, and pumpkin spice, apple pie, apple cider. I love, like, the whole things that are fall, like all the fattening comfort foods, and all the, butter pecan pie, like all the different stuff. It's nice to have fall. And if you're in a cold climate, you see the beautiful leaves changing color when you're going for those long drives. It's nice, but I just don't like winter. Um, and I don't like it when you don't have a garden. It kind of causes some of us, like, good morning, Godwin, honey. Good to see you. And you can just type hashtag urban to drop your link, sir. So this is almost like you feel like a slight depression, not like, clinical depression, but you're just sad to see all the greenery go, all the, it's a sad feeling when it's like you can't do nothing. And snow is fun. It's nice when you have like outdoor activities, but man, it's cold. And you already know about my car problems and car repair. That was a hot mess. But I got a lot of stuff done. And today is apple picking. I'm going to pick some apples. I'll instead do a video. And I'm going to try to make apple canning. I canned my dad's apples last year, but this year, I missed a comment, but I'll go back to it. This year, his tree didn't produce. He didn't spray it, but I don't know what happened, but his tree didn't produce. So there's no apples for us to can off of his tree. And this is what happens in real life. Sometimes you don't get the produce. What are you going to do? You have to go and purchase it from somebody else or a farm. Hashtag urban. I'll type it in there so you can see what it looks like. It doesn't matter if it's capital or not, but there you go. There you go. And yeah, so this is what happens in real life. I keep telling you all about, sometimes you can't grow enough food to feed yourself and sustain yourself. It's not possible. Oh, I dropped my own link. I'm typing it so that you can see what it looks like, but it's actually dropping my own link, that's kind of funny. Okay. So let me go back to I missed a comment. I think it was Miss AKA. Okay, hold on. I got 14 days till my birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Oh, you're the same sign as my ex. Okay, that's why we're always conflicting with each other. You're a Libra. I think you're a Libra. I like apple pie, but I don't like apple scented. Oh yeah, I don't like apple scented candles. I like vanilla, and I feel the same way. An outside plant is an outside plant. I assume. Yeah, but I had to bring them inside just so I can get sorrow. Um, so I'm thinking next year. I'm not sure. I'm just talking out loud. I'm thinking next year I may just keep the sorrow indoors, or have some kind of mesh on my veranda to mitigate all the bugs. Like I don't know, but I just don't. Oh, you're October. Okay. Oh my goodness. I like money, but I don't like the smell of it. You don't, but you like taking it from senior citizens at the senior home, don't you? With yeah, I like the leaves changing color. I think it's beautiful. Um, and I've seen lately there's a lot of birds in my backyard. I haven't seen a blue jay in years. Haven't seen a blue jay. I saw about 3 or 4 of them in the backyard. I'm seeing birds in my pots, my vegetable pots, eating bugs. So I know there's bugs in my pots, but they're in there eating the bugs. They're in the lawn. They're having conference meetings. I left a bucket under a part of the roof, that the eaves trough that drips water, and now the bucket's full. And when I went to the back, hey, good morning, Gina. Good morning, Queen Shar. The birds were all on the bucket drinking like they're having a free water fountain. I'm like, these birds are so rude, but they're so cute at the same time. Hold on, the chat just jumped. Okay, there we are. Oh, you're on the 8th? Okay, all these October people. So Erica, Nikki, and Badass are October. Yes, good morning to you. Oh, I got the envelope, Gina. I'm gonna do a mail call now that I got it. But I got it. Thank you. Happy birthday month to you guys all. Good morning, Queen Shar. So yeah, yesterday I went to the event, and like we were all hype. We were all hype about, like, you just be re-inspired. Oh, your tree didn't produce last year either. Yeah, I don't know what happened this year. I don't know if it's a disease, but last fall they heavily pruned the tree. And I know we were going to get less than before, but I'm talking like not even 5 apples. Good morning, Juicing with Jay. Good to see you. I don't know what happened. So this is what happens in real life. Sometimes, you guys had hurricane and concerns, but sometimes things just don't go as planned. And it could be a disease, it could be a fungus, it could be weather, it could be anything. You just don't know what happened. I've been buying race car parts and hiding them from my wife. The one thing I learned from my friends is that you can't hide nothing from your wife. They may play dumb, but they already know. They already know. Men are the worst liars. The worst liars. My boss used to do that and buy things and hide it from his wife, and she still knew, even though he was hiding them at the office. She still knew. They think they're slick and they're not. Oh, you're on the 21st. Lord have mercy, the whole place October, people. What is going on here? Wow. Oh, good morning, Hands in the Dirt. Well, enjoy your birthday. Enjoy your birthday month. October is a lovely month. Oh, yeah, I like Libras, except for the ex. But a lot of my male friends are October people. A lot of them. I think Shar's dad was October as well. But yeah, but not. Let me see. I think they're asking if Gina was driving. Yep, you're driving. She's heading to the stores. That's what you got to do. I like going to the stores early in the morning. Oh, she won't tell your wife. But anything in November, it's. Let me see here. Whoops, I missed. Okay, last year it bared. This year, no. Yeah, I didn't get any apples this year, guys. Didn't get any apples. No paper. Oh, you pay. Listen here. Okay. You actually take pride in planning and plotting to sneak and buy these cardboards. But yeah, I didn't get any apples. My pear dropped off my tree. I have 2 pears that were on my tree, my own personal tree, covered with pantyhose, and it was fine. And I know animal jumped on it when I went out to run errands because it was hanging in the stocking, just dangling. So somebody knocked it off, but it's the only pear that's a full size pear. It's not ripe, so I'm having it on my counter. Hopefully, it'll start to ripen because I don't like crunchy pears. I like my pears a little bit tender. So you let me know, guys. Should I, those of you who have trees, it's fall. Should I up pot it now and fertilize it? Or should I leave it in the pot and up pot it in the spring? Because now it's going to go into, I don't know. If you guys have a tip, I'm thinking I can just pot it now. Gently roll it out of the current pot, put it in the other pot, and just heavily fertilize. Okay, so Gina, your package is coming from Renaissance. She's going to the P.O. box soon. I don't know if you're reading the chat, but you can hear that. She's dropping it off soon. Yep, keep your first AK. Badass thinks he's bad, but so yeah, I don't know if I should up pot it now, if it matters. I think it's going to dormancy, but you guys let me know if you have any tips. But I'm gonna have to up pot it because I'm not getting enough production, and it's a 5-species pear tree, so it needs a bit more room, more food, so and the branches can kind of grow a little bigger. My fig tree is doing good. It's cold tolerant, so I'm not gonna move her into the garage. I think, what should I call her? Fifi? I gotta name my trees. Fiona. Maybe I should call her Fiona. And I'm gonna put her in the garage, or I'm gonna have to bring Fiona into the house because the instructions said not to leave them outside the first couple of years because they're still a small tree. Once it becomes more established, then it can stay outside all winter long. So I'm gonna have to move her. And she's just budding. She has figs on there now. I would have got them earlier, but because the squirrels were eating them off, or the raccoon was eating it off, I didn't get the first flush of fruit. What else is happening here? I'm trying to think. Someone sent me a picture. Also, I had to put poison down. I had the lawnmower taken out later because it was a drought, so I wasn't mowing the lawn. And there was already, hey, good morning, Tori. There was already a mouse in there. So I'm going to have to go around and put poison in both of the sheds and take care of that. That's what's updated with that. So for those of you who are in my climate, they like to hibernate in your sheds. My wife does the same thing. Football season comes around and she'll have a new jersey and a hoodie. Yeah, she's going to buy something like you didn't notice. Your wife likes football? Wow. That's one of the sports I just don't like. I don't like it. I don't know why. I know, sacrilege, right? Sacrilege. How dare you? No, I don't like football. I like watching it, like the hype, the Super Bowl, and having the parties, but I really don't like watch the sport. I'm planning to up pot my blueberry bushes soon, but my first frost. Yeah, I think I'm going to up pot it. No one said anything about. I haven't heard any negative in the chat, so I guess I'll just up pot it and spray it. Spray peppermint oil regularly in and around your shed. Okay, I'll try, but once it gets cold, I'm not going up there. Once it snow, I'm not going up there because it's like walking in the Arctic. But I'll spray it now, and then I'll put the poison down because that's what happened last winter. After a certain time, I wasn't going back up the hill. It was just too much. The snow was too deep. And then the chicken coop part, I'm gonna, as I told you guys last night, I'm gonna finish that off myself. I'm not waiting for someone to help me because it's just like it's not happening. So today I'm going to ask somebody if they have any scrap plywood because I saw them having it propped up somewhere. So I'm going to ask them. If not, I'm going to have to go back to Orange Store and get them to cut it for me there and then try to fit it in my car and then block that area off because everything else is done. The chicken coop is built. The wiring in that shed is not working, but I can call the electrical guy and say, can you get the conduits working? And it's good to go. so I can have the heated water. That's about it for me in terms of the outdoor stuff. I have to get the eaves troughs cleaned out. Um, Good morning, Lash. Get the eaves troughs cleaned out to make sure that the leaves aren't clogging up the flow of water, and just winterizing. I'm a fake fan. So whoever's the favorite is who I cheer for. So I have no loyalties. If it's like the whatever team, I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fake fan. I don't know. I find, is it just me or does football have a lot of gaps? Like there's all these breaks in between, and then you have to like strategize, and then you send out the artillery, and you like, I don't know. There's just too many gaps. I don't know. There's not an actual continuous flow. But I guess you guys like it's like a military kind of sport where you're planning your moves to infiltrate the enemy and pass the enemy line. So I can see the appeal, but I don't like the sport. Irish, you know what? I do have Irish Spring. You know what? I did not use it in my front yard. I think I'm going to try that next season because those squirrels are just disgusting. So thanks for reminding me. I will use the Irish Spring. Oh, thanks, Cena Renee. But yeah, I'm a fake fan. I'll be like, yeah, and I'll act like I was following them for the whole season, and I'll learn the top 2 players' names just so I can seem like I know the game. I don't know these people. I don't know any of these people. Not a one. Last person I know is Deion Sanders that I really knew, and he retired long time and is hobbling around with a missing toe. So that's definitely not. He's not on the team now. I don't watch football. Hey, good morning, Darren. Can't stop walking but love mowing. Good to see you. So that's the general update today. So today's rent day. So I'm looking forward to that. Today also we're hyped from last night. So I was around a lot of people. Oh, you're not seeing my face. And the meeting was about real estate. So it's like some individuals who are imparting knowledge on people, encouraging people to get into real estate, talking about, same thing I talked to you guys about. They just have a meeting maybe once a year, twice a year to encourage people. Then they hold people accountable. Like, what have you done? Like, if you're coming to these meetings, like, twice a year, are you just coming here for decoration and getting free food? Like, what have you done? And some people have done some things. Somebody's daughter, my sister and I kind of pushed them into certain things, like smarten up. I was like, smarten up and go do something. A lot of kids don't want to help their parents. A lot of kids are very computer literate. They're computer savvy. Like, it doesn't take much for them to put a flyer together, post an ad on Kijiji. It's just so easy for them, and they don't want to do it. So these girls were up there talking about what they did with their Airbnb for their parents. And a 15-year-old and a 19-year-old basically ran the Airbnb. So they would log in under their mother's account and pretend to be corresponding with the guest as the mother, and then say, oh, this young lady will be helping you check in, which is themselves. And they learn the business. So they did an excellent job. Oh, let me see. Stacy here. Shelby is a diehard Dallas fan. We are going back to Texas for a game at the end of the month. Wow. That's good. That's cool that your wife actually that must be cool for you as a husband that your wife actually likes foot or the sports. Hey, good morning on Vision Preparedness. That your wife actually likes sports. That must be fun. She's not faking it. She actually enjoys it. Yeah, I used to Irish Spring to keep those frogs. How do you have frogs? But you know what? I had frogs too. I did. I haven't seen them in about 2 years, but they were frogs in the yard, but they eat flies, right? So they're actually good to have. They're kind of like a praying mantis. They eat the bugs. I haven't seen any frogs since I threw the few bars underneath the patio. Okay, they don't like it. Okay, so Shelby likes foot. That's okay. Wow. And Darren, hello, when driving through Arizona. Okay, drive safely, but thanks for popping in. But yeah, we're talking about real estate. So they got me hyped up again, and some people are venturing off into new and exciting territory, and they're just sharing information so that we're not all starting off from ground zero. We can at least have a baseline of information so that we can expand our horizon. So that was very, very interesting. But we also, there's always some kind of, not drama, but there's always somebody. Hey, good morning, G Mama. Hold on, what's Shar saying? I like football. Yeah, I like Buffalo Bills because they're next door. Not because they're right next door. But Buffalo don't play with their football, man. When we're there shopping and there's a game on, they don't play. They are serious. Hey, good morning, Psalms 146. They don't play about their football team. It is me, but does the Cowboys and Steelers have the most fake fans? They probably do. They're like me. They jump on the bandwagon. Whoever's in the finals, that's who they jump, Oh, I'm a fan. You're not a fan. You just want to feel hype and feel like included in the excitement. I like baseball though. I like me some baseball. I haven't watched it in years, but I was one of the, when we had the double win, the Toronto Blue Jays won 2 in a row, and then we were going to go for a 3-peat, but then the strike happened. That was baseball. When we had Joe Carter, Roberto Alomar, man, Tony Fernandez. I'm telling you, I love me some baseball, and I like soccer, which is to me the real football, and I actually like cricket. I really got into cricket. Cricket is fun for me. Ravens are here more of a Lamar. Okay, you guys in your football. Tori and Hands of the Dirt are having their own football conversation in the conversation. Go ahead. But yeah, so it was very fun, very encouraging. But somebody said nothing rude, nothing. But you have to be able to. I'm learning to read people quickly and just see what I'm seeing and know that I'm seeing the right thing. So he said something, nothing rude, but almost to the effect of he wants us, like not me, but the people who are on the panel and speaking and giving their experience, he wants them to give them like access to their contacts, like their information. So I'm sitting there watching the panel, and people have a good poker face, but I know them, so I know they're like, "Diam rich," but they're like, the professional face, and it's like we've known you for all of 5 seconds. Why would somebody give you their contacts? The thing to do is build a relationship with that person, and that person is going to now tap you into their contact or their team to help you, but you have to build a relationship. You can't skip the step. Everything in life is about relationships and building a network. Anyways, the man was just nuffy. So now this morning we found out from the person who invited him to the event that the person never even RSVP'd to confirm he was coming, to show up with him too longhand and then asking the panel, which he doesn't know, as if he must give them, So somebody kind of put them in check and saying, well, so-and-so invited you here, so it would be prudent for you to connect with the so-and-so that invited you here to tap into this network of people. But if you haven't tapped into the network yet, maybe the person doesn't think you really done anything to be not worthy, but like to tap into the network. You can't ask people for their contacts and you haven't even like sharpened your pencil, if you know what I mean. Like you haven't done step 1, 2, and 3, and you're asking for the person's contacts. So then I was talking to people outside privately about it, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to give you my contacts that I've worked to build relationships with these people, and I want to take somebody that I barely know for 2 seconds and then give myself a bad name. Are you out of your mind? I was just laughing. I'm like, yep, Otada. So this is what's going on in these streets. People think winning guest team in baseball. Yeah, I love me some Toronto Blue Jays, but not so much now. They're not so hyped now. Let me see here. Yeah, we have a good Canadian soccer team. Yes, we do have a good soccer team. And so the 2 of the players are from Brampton, so that's like right next door. Commanders do suck, but I still got to support the home team. So that means you're a fake fan too then, because you're only a fan because you have no choice. Yes, please hit the like button, guys. So everyone's just greeting each other. So yeah, what do you guys think? Like, do you Cricket are good for cricket nuts. No, cricket, real cricket. Like sport cricket. What the cricket's good for fishing. Rude. Yeah, you can type the weather. Thanks, Gmail, for reminding me. You can type the weather and it'll give you the weather conditions. Okay, take care, Vision. Oh, a date with a chainsaw. Well, you're always burning down something or cutting something up. Yeah, you're right. It's always something to do. And you're in Ohio, so winter preparedness. You got to get ready before the winter snow comes. Okay, so Lashes is subbing to Psalms 146. Good. Let's keep supporting each other. Okay, good. I think I got everybody. Yeah, you got to cheer for the home team. So yeah, and what's your plans for this week, guys? Since like it's officially, well, it was officially fall, but for me, fall is October the 1st. Anything before October to me is not fall. Like now, you're starting to see the fall come to effect. What are you going to make? What are you going to cook? What are you going to bake? For us, October is Thanksgiving. In Canada, in the States, y'all have it in November, which to me is winter. So I don't know. To me, I don't feel like November is Thanksgiving-y. It's too close to Christmas. That's my opinion, but that's what you guys have. So October is Thanksgiving. All the harvest comes in and you know. Oh, you're talking about the jars, the canning. Yes, I got some canning jars before you posted your update, Sam. I have to get some more. And somebody gave me some of their lids. Because they use their cans, their jars for like making juice, and they use a plastic lid. So they gave me all their canning lids, all the extras. So I have extra lids. Oh, that reminds me, Gina. Yeah, I have sweet potato 2 up top to harvest, and the other 2 bags of sweet potato have to go in the garage. I don't think they're ready yet. So hey, good morning, Rock, just living. I hope that the upper one has gotten something formed under there. I'm not sure. Can you do potatoes under grow lights? Will that help? I'll be up potting my pomegranate. Oh, so that's what I was asking, G Mama. Maybe you weren't here when I asked. Is it okay now to like up pot a tree? Like I have a pear tree. Is it okay for me to up pot it now, or do you do it in the spring? But from what your comment's saying, you're up potting your stuff now. Because I have an a pear tree, a 5 species pear tree that the one pear came off and there's one little pear on there. But other than that, there's no more fruit on there. Do I wait for the fruit to come off, or do I just up pot it now? Yeah, exactly. You can never have too many lids. So I took the lids, I had them, in a box of just lids and the rings. I know you don't need that many rings, like you can reuse the rings, but she gave them to me anyways. I'm going to go apple picking today. If you guys didn't hear, I'm going to buy the apples because they ain't no apples on the tree. And I'm going to can apples. And my family loved it last year. The apples with the cinnamon and the whatever, and they just ate it. We didn't make pie. We just ate it on waffles. We made our own dessert or a pancake. Tonight I'm canning cranberry sauce with TT. Okay. My sister makes good cranberry sauce, but she doesn't can it. I think we need to, and it doesn't last long because it's fresh. So I'm going to have to start to can hers. But she gave me a small jar, and I put it in a container in the freezer. So I have fresh cranberry sauce from when she made it the last time that we're going to use for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to try that as well. I want to watch. I always watch, but I'm not going to can. I got my order, Gina, of the 2 other racks from Amazon. So I can now put 2 layers in the canner. We are grilling out today, playing cornhole, riding 4-wheelers, shooting. Oh, 4-wheelers sound like fun. See, I love those fall outdoors. I do mine as long as I can work the soil. I also up pot with fruit trees okay, I'm going to up pot my pear tree because it's producing, but it needs more room and more food to produce. I will do a canning video, but it's not to show you how to can. It's just to show you what I did. If you want to learn how to can, don't watch me. Let me tell you, mine's more for entertainment purposes to show you that I can something, but not as a tutorial. Because I really don't know when we canned the last time, for the first time I canned the apples last year. So we purchased the enamel pot to do the water bath canning. And I didn't like the fact that I had to use so much water to cover the jars. And then after you do it, you have to throw I just found it like a waste of water. That was just me. So we bought a steam canner on the cheap. I'd use the steam canner. I loved it because it was less water and it heated up quite quickly and it had the gauge. But the apples were oozing out of the jars into the canner. So can somebody tell me what happened? What, they weren't too full. Is that just what happens when you're canning? It sometimes oozes out. So it was just messy. Then I had to wash. It was messy. But the food was good. The apples were good. We enjoyed it, but the process was very messy. So I prefer the steam canner. So I now have the Presto canner. I haven't canned anything in it yet. I got the racks from Amazon, so now I can do like, the 26 pint jars. I'm just getting ready to start. And I know a lot of you here are canning. I saw like Ghetto had a canning session and people were canning. I just have to get my foot in the door and make time. Good morning, Sheena. And good morning, Mona. Start canning. But honestly, canning is important. Not only because you're preserving your food, number one, that's the obvious, but for those of us who are on have to be careful of what we consume, and we can't have like a lot of salt, we can't have a lot of sugar. It's very important. If you can't can your own food, you're maybe buying canned goods from a farm or Amish place or however you can get them, when somebody's using a lot less sugar and a lot less salt, because my body cannot tolerate it. I think Lasha said something about I wonder if you can can aloe vera too. I love aloe. Let me see. Did somebody answer that? I'm not sure, Lashes. I don't know if you can, but they use aloe in skincare products, which means it has to go through some kind of preservation process to not go rancid. So maybe it can be preserved in some way. Just collected about 24 black walnut seeds. I'm going to try to germinate them. Okay, good for you. Good for you. Nuts are very good. So there's definitely a nut tree in my backyard, and there's a nut tree at one of the properties in the Niagara property, and they're just on the floor on the ground. They look like a pear. I didn't know that that's how nuts came, because if you're not exposed, you don't know. But yeah, I can go and harvest some of this free food and take it. Let me see what I missed. Hold on. G Mama answered the question. And sifting some soil. I'm watching your interview with African Dreaming. I was on the road and I was watching it last night, but then I had to stop because there's another live, so there was an overlap. But I'm watching your interview. I saw your grandbaby, so I'm going to finish watching that. But I'm already subbed to you. I've been supporting you from before, so I'm already connected with you. But I'm going to watch it. Aloe can be stored in a sealed container. I'm not sure if it can go through a canning process. I know. Well, if you're going to can it, you're going to you're going to denature it, which is, you can't preserve something and it's still going to be having its raw properties. This can't work. But let me see what happened. The syrup oozed out of one of mine a few weeks ago and made everything sticky. I'm not sure what caused it. Maybe I didn't remove all the bubble. Oh, maybe you're right. And somebody said, I can't remember where, because I was debubbling it with a metal utensil, and somebody said you have to use a plastic utensil to debubble, because I forgot to bring my kit with me, and I'm like, I'm not going back for that thing. And I think I use actually a chopstick. Those I don't know if it's whatever, the chopsticks. So maybe that's, I don't know. And then all of my fruit went to the top, and the liquid, I don't know. They said that's wrong. I don't know. I can't control what floats. So that was that. But it tasted delicious. Could be freeze dried. Yeah. I drink aloe twice a day. I drink aloe, but I don't drink the fresh aloe. So maybe I shouldn't do that. I drink the one that you buy in the bottle from the health food store. It's aloe water, and they have aloe juice. So I'm sure I'm not getting the full nutrients, but real aloe tastes bitter. Doesn't it taste bitter, Lashes? It tastes bitter. And it's so hard for me to handle and slimy, and I put it on my hair too, because that's good for my hair. So I probably should have more aloe. Let me take my charcoal. Never mind. I have a charcoal tablet to take. But Yeah, these are what's good for you doesn't always taste good. That's the long and short of it. If it doesn't taste good, that means it's good for you. Let me take my charcoal pill. Hold on. How did it go last night on Tori's Brain Games? Who won the championship belt? Who won the championship? Since I couldn't be there, I left the gap for you guys to come and get your championship. So don't get used to it. I'm coming back. So enjoy your 1 day championship. I'll be back to take it over again. um yeah, like it's some of the canning I'm doing has been very frustrating because it leaked and then one of the jars didn't seal and I had to go back and process just one jar and it did, like, I don't know. But I'm learning and I'm sure it happens to everybody. Like some of your jars don't seal or maybe you I do know that you have to feel the jar. Like before I even can, I run my finger across the jar because there are sometimes nicks that you don't see with the naked eye, but you'll feel the nick on the jar and the jar won't seal. And you've just wasted your time putting it in the jar and going through the process when the jar itself won't seal. So you have to check your jars before you put them to be boiled or you heat them in the oven. I heat mine in the oven. Yeah. So whoever won, enjoy your what? Oh, Mrs. V won. Okay, she can enjoy her 1 day championship. Coming back. The bitter the better. Yes, the bitter the better. But I'm going to. Well, you when you blend the leaf. No, I don't blend the leaf. I learned that from a long time. You must cut off the sides and you cut off the leaf. It's too bitter. Drink just to have the jelly in the middle. Um, yeah, mistakes are best way to master the task. Exactly. You're not canning yet. Maybe next season. Oh, that's good. Yeah, definitely can. I think I was only doing water bath canning because it was less intimidating. I am doing the pressure canning. I haven't done it. I'm just talking, but I see Gina doing it. TT's doing it. Um, I think Best Yet was canning. Carbon's canning. Ghetto's canning. So many people. I think Fat Guy with Guns was showed. They made him eat the chicken that he canned on the live, and he was like yum 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 eating the chicken. A lot of people are canning their food, and I think I'm going to really be canning some meat because I don't want to keep tying up my freezer with stuff. So I'm going to go through and start canning. Yeah, yeah. I have to. I know that I can't eat certain foods, and a lot of the foods that have a lot of salt, I had a bad reaction to it. So I have to spend the time to can. But I'll can the apples, I'll can jams. I'm gonna do the pepper jam. I have some jalapenos, so I'll can those so I don't waste them. I'm gonna dehydrate them as well. But I'm doing a lot of dehydrating. You saw me last night with the peppers. I've been drying my peppers, my scotch bonnet. I'm just making sure that this year I'm not wasting my food that I'm growing. I found, if I'm honest, which I'm always straightforward, I was growing the food, but I was wasting a lot of it because it wasn't being consumed fast enough. It wasn't getting frozen fast enough. And then you didn't know what to do with some of the food. Like, what do I do with it? And you have to preserve it. If you're going to can it, you have to freeze it or you have to dehydrate it or you have to put it in a cold room that can keep fresh. I don't have a cold enough room. So I have a zucchini here that somebody gave me. I'm gonna have to roast it tomorrow. I'm gonna have to eat zucchini as a side dish because I can't keep it. It's starting to get one side starting to get a little off. Something else that I have here, same thing. It doesn't keep very long, especially, yeah, salt does me real bad. Salt does me real bad. The preservatives do me real bad. Some of the stuff in there that you can't pronounce, it does me real bad. So, and I want to know the quality of the food that I'm getting. So you have to sacrifice the time. There's what the Jamaican saying, correct me if I'm wrong, Lashes, if you want good, your nose have to run. If you want good, you have to put some work in it. Your nose runs when you're putting in work and you know. So you can't, nothing's going to come easy. You're going to have to either spend your time doing it yourself, or you're going to have to pay the money to purchase it from somebody else who's doing it. My aunt, God bless her soul, who's passed now, a lot of the stuff she would can for us. The beets she would can, the carrots she would can, because she was her and her husband were farmers, and when it came to harvest time, she was just canning around the clock, pickling around the clock. That's what she did. And you paid for her time, you paid for the ingredients, the salt, the pickling, whatever. You paid for the jars, and she would actually can in secondhand jars, jars that you got pickles in, jars that you got other products in. She canned in some of those. I don't know what she did. I should have asked when she was here, but she canned in some jars, and I think it was more water bath canning, and she used those jars. And we had beets that we found in the garage that were from, like, because she always dated everything, that were from like 97, all kind of years, and nothing wrong with the food. I'm not telling you. Let me change my banner, because I have a banner saying this is not medical advice and this is not whatever, because I don't want no problem with nobody. Oh, that's what she was doing. And the food, because we ate the food, the beets, and we didn't get sick. There's nothing wrong with it. Good morning, unicorn lady. So I don't know what she had to. I wish, like, as I said last night, I wish I had gotten some of this knowledge earlier, but I was not, my mind wasn't there. I was doing other things and working on other goals, and I did not get the knowledge from her. And it's not either or. We have to include homesteading and that kind of lifestyle and everything that we do. We're too reliant on the stores. From what I understand, you don't season it until you cook it. Are you talking about and if can anything? Okay, you don't have to can with salt. I think salt is optional. Sugar, I'm not sure if that is required to make it gel. I don't know that yet, but I don't want a lot of sugar either. Yep. Good afternoon. Oh, sorry. Good morning. Afternoon. What time am I at? Unicorn Lady Ted. Yeah, I'm not sure, but we're all learning. Some of us haven't done any canning, but don't be afraid. There's a lot of videos out there of people canning. There's who else can? Oh, Homestead Heart. Homestead Heart has some videos. I definitely am going to can some butter. I noticed on my app, my coupon app, in the middle of the night, because I couldn't sleep, that there's grass-fed butter on sale for $2 Canadian at the local store. So once I finish this live, I should have actually gone there from 7 o'clock this morning, but I couldn't get out of bed. I'm gonna go there and pick up the butter, come back here, put them in the fridge, and then go to the apple picking. And I'm gonna can. I know the books and people have said there's no recipe for canning, and canning is not butter. Sorry, canning butter. There's no recipe for that, and there's no USDA approved process for canning butter, and they don't recommend it. So I'm not giving you, again, no advice. You contact a professional for any advice that you think I may be giving you. But I am going to follow people who have canned the butter, and I will be trying to can butter. Because if you go to the store and you buy ghee, which is clarified butter, and it's preserved and jarred somehow and sealed, I am going to can some butter, because I cannot keep packs and packs of butter in the freezer. It's taking up too much room. So you do what's best for you in your kitchen, and I will do what's good for me in my kitchen. And in my kitchen, we're going to be learning how to can butter. And I'm going to follow the people them who have their videos, because I'm pretty sure they've been doing it for a while and they haven't gotten sick from no butter. So I know their books don't recommend canning butter. Let me check. I have my Amish book right here. 1 second. Let me check. I didn't even look. I got the Amazon book, the Amish book, which I'm going to put in my haul because I have to show my. And I don't know. I have this book. Oh, there was a good view of it a second ago, but oh Lord, this virtual background. If I put my hand there, you can kind of see. That's the book, Amish Canning Cookbook. Plain and simple living at its home best. And I'm not sure, but I think the old time, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna use it's basically you're making ghee. I'm gonna make ghee and then I'm gonna can it. Because if I can get grass-fed butter for $2, regular butter is not even $2. Regular butter is like $4, now $5, and I can can it, that's gonna set me up for. I don't think they have butter in here. This book, I haven't really looked through it to be honest, because I haven't ready to can yet. But I'm reading my Presto book, and I'm still trying to figure out how to test the canner. I'm a bit like apprehensive, and I think I got it down pat because I think I was looking for the 5 pound weight, but there's no weight. It's just a standard knob that you put on, and then the reading goes on the screen on the dial. I don't see butter in here in any of these books, but I saw somebody two people can butter, and that's what I'm going to do. So let me see. Sorry, let me put this book down. But yeah, I have the Amish book. Let me see. Hey, good morning, Marlon. And good morning, FR Humphrey. Let me just see what's going on here. This whole time I was thinking the background, oh no, it's not my real house. Everybody keeps saying that. And I'm thinking, I've seen other people with the same background. So I guess they think we all live together because I've seen this background but maybe on my screen, it doesn't look as virtual. Like I kind of, and I'm wearing leopard print too, but maybe I blend in. It looks more to scale, but no, it's not my real house. I'm sitting in front of a blank wall. I'm very like OCD-ish, so I would never show. I would have to like have an office space designated for my videos. I would never show my living room or my house like that. I'm just very like, I don't want everybody to see. If you're like a real person and you know me, yes, you can come, but I'm not gonna show it on social media. Oh yeah, good morning to you. Let me see what Darren. He must be at a stoplight. When it becomes ghee, it's just an oil at that point. Yeah, when it becomes ghee, you've cooked out the lac. Let me look it up because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. I don't, but you've cooked out the lactose. So you've cooked out the milk solids, but it's still technically not vegan. Because, hold on, someone sent me a picture. What is going on here? What is going on here? I think someone's having a mouse outbreak in the shed. Okay. It still has casein in it, and casein is still an animal product. So ghee it's good for if you're lactose intolerant, but technically it's not vegan because there's some vegans that I'm students that I'm around, and they're quote unquote like purists, so they don't eat ghee because it's still an animal product. But yeah, you cook out all the milk solids, you cook out the lactose, and I believe when those solids come to the top and you skim them off, I think you can use that for something. But I have to watch the video again, so don't quote me. But yes, you cook out the milk solids and the lactose, and it becomes lactose free. But the casein is still in there, so it's technically not vegan. But I'm not vegan, so that doesn't bother me. Yeah, I'm even if I'm not eating meat, I'm not going to be vegan. I don't have a problem with eating certain things from animals. I don't have, I've talked about this before, so it's not new for some of you. I don't have a problem with certain things. I don't have a problem with eating eggs, butter, cheese, honey. Like I don't have a problem with any of that. So I will never be vegan by definition, but I will be more, have more plant-based foods in my diet, whether I choose to eat meat or not. Yeah. But I do eat meat. I do eat meat, not as much as before, and I eat better quality meat because that's important to me. But I don't just I don't not eat meat, but I don't eat it every day. What else? were we talking about? Because I'm just going all over the place, which is fine. Saturdays is not really all about gardening. So I am going to be unboxing. So I have to record my hauls from Amazon, what I got, my mail calls. I have a mail call from months ago. So I'm just going to do one mega mail call with all the seeds that I got from the 3 and 4 people, because it's just been like, it's never going to get done if I don't just go and do it. And I got an in-house hydroponics kit. I don't think it's the best kit. It's just something that I got. It was an okay price to get my feet wet into hydroponics. So most likely I can use it to grow lettuce and spinach and like small greens, nothing big, just to get my foot in the door and then start expanding into other hydroponics. Because the goal for me is I don't want bugs in my house. So I don't want to have soil in my house that's going to breed bugs. I have the sorrel in my house. So yes, I brought some bugs in here, but I don't want that to be a standard practice. Let me blow my nose 1 second here. Okay, and also for people who live in a cold climate like I do, I'm getting like, I'm not catching a cold, but it's like the air gets dry in the house. So for those, you have to remind yourself, you have to put on like a cool mist humidifier. Sometimes you'll see people leave like a cup of water around the house so it can evaporate in the air, because the dry air affects your sinuses and your skin. I had to slather some oil on my face this morning. I don't know if I look greasy. I had to slather some oil, dry, like a dry piece of corn. I'm like, why is my skin so dry? But the air is dry. The changeover has happened so quickly. There's no humidity, so you have to put the humidity back in your air. Yes, I do have humidity on my furnace, but maybe it hasn't kicked in enough yet. So you have to do that. Otherwise, if the air in your home is dry, it makes it easier for you to catch cold. So I don't know if you guys knew that. You'll be more susceptible to catch a cold. So you have to keep the moisture in your house at a certain percentage to keep your lungs and your sinuses working well, and your skin as well. So that's why you may see me like just dry. I'm just my throat. So I have to put the cool mist humidifier. I didn't put it on. It's over there. I need to put it on. What's Marlon saying? Clarify is a process when you remove the cream from the butter by boiling it on a low. Yes, so you're removing the milk solids from the butter, and you're left with the oil, which is, to me, it tastes just as good. And you put a little salt in there. I got a small one too. Need to get, yeah, the hydroponics. I need to get it set up. So things are happening. And then the videos, I'm working on videos, but it was brought to my attention that I need to get an external hard drive because it's taking up too much room on the device. And then it's the Apples, my sister and I work on it together. She helps me. She has an Apple. I do not. So it's clogging up the computer and she can't do nothing because the files are so big. So she's like, you have to get like a external hard drive. So I'm ordering that today so that we can continue working on the videos. Then I'm using some other software on my computer, Microsoft software, to try to use another program to see, if I can get the same quality with another program. So things are happening in the background. So you'll start to see just me dropping videos. So just keep your eye out. But yes, I'm doing the same. I can't control. Yeah, I don't want soil in my house. And to be honest, hydroponics is going to add that moisture back into the air too, because it's a two-way thing. But yeah, and I have indoor only soil. But once you bring in an outdoor plant, they're going to just hop from plant to plant, and your plants that weren't infested are going to be in. It's just too much. It's just too much. Just to grow your own food, it's a challenge. But I'm up for the challenge, but it is a challenge. Let me see what happened here. I put too much garlic in my hummus. You could never put too much garlic, Lashes. I love garlic. I like it when it burns my chest. I love a garlic. Love garlic. So I don't think you put too much. I love extra garlic in mine and a little jalapeno or hot pepper in there to make it kick. No, he didn't put too much. That's my opinion. I love garlic. Oh, Shar saying, Changing the furnace filter every 3 months, yes. And buying a good quality furnace filter. I had to up my quality. I was buying the little fenke ones. Them I had to buy like the good ones with the high level of, I think it's MERV they call it, high filtration, high. Like you can't. The cheapest is the dearest, as they would say. And cheap people, it ends up costing you more in the long run. You have to buy a good quality, and they have the filters that you can wash and reuse. Those are even more expensive, but it might be worth it. It's too hot, Urban. I love when the garlic burn. Yeah, or just add some more. Let's just add some more chickpea, puree the chickpea without anything else, and add it to the other one and mix it together and then tone it down. You can tone it down, but I love a garlic. But yeah, your furnace filter, your air quality. I think Cena Renee's in a cold climate. Yes, she's in a cold climate, I believe. And other people, you guys, your furnace filter. Go around your house and open the vents and vacuum out all the debris in your vents. You can get duct cleaning, but I'm not getting that right now. And go and put the holes down the vents and vacuum out as much of the debris as possible. Some people put filters on their heating vents so that when the heat's blowing, is a filter keeping all the dust and debris out of the house. Because you'll see all this dust in your house. Wonder, why is my house so dusty? It's coming from the vents. Make sure you put the humidifier on your furnace if you can. If you cannot, then buy a cool mist, not the warm mist. I had the warm mist back in the day and it made the place moly. You need to have the cold mist so that the place is not getting damp. But I made a lot. How can I fix it? You have to tone it down. Yeah, the cheap ones are not as effective. So you guys, add more chickpea lashes and tone it down. And then portion it and freeze some. I guess you can freeze some if you have way too much. Portion some away and freeze it so that you don't have it all in the fridge. But when I eat hummus, I can go through a lot of it. Like it come like I'm eating meat. It fills me up. It makes me feel satiated. It gives me my protein. I'm fine. And the garlic is good for anti-flu. So you don't know. Just give me lots of garlic. But yeah, so those of you in cold climates, and just work on your air quality. You're in a closed environment all the time. Make sure you vacuum your house regularly and you mop it in the winter months because the dust is just everywhere. And then I get congested quite easily. And the older I get, it's like you get more sensitive to dust. So today I have to make sure I wipe down everything, mop everything, vacuum all the crevices in the corners to get the air quality back. I'm going to check the furnace filter. I think it's clean, but I'll check it again. And I'm going to vacuum all the I didn't vacuum all the vents, and I turned the heat on. Yeah, I like jalapeno in mine too, or pepper. I don't know if you like hot pepper, in my hummus. It tastes good. And then people use roasted red peppers. There's all kind of variations. I love it. And I put a little bit of lemon in mine because to give it a brighter taste. It's not so chalky. Tomato, yeah. Spinach, oh yeah. I use hummus like butter on my sandwiches when I'm doing like a roasted pepper and eggplant sandwich. I'll use like the hummus as butter. I won't use actual butter if I'm sticking truly plant-based. And I'm telling you, the sandwich is good. Anything else you guys want to talk about, or just pop in the chat? We can just talk about. I think I've been on for an hour. Yeah, just about an hour. But I don't want to be. I was on last night, so I don't want to overextend too much today. And I want to go get that grass-fed butter that's on sale because you don't know when people think something on sale. Sure, you don't know. The people them go in droves and you have nothing for yourself to go buy no butter. You take the whole of the shelf. So I'm sure there's not gonna be any butter. Sure. Because most groups of people, butter is a heavy ingredient in their recipes. Like, yeah, a lot of recipes, it's butter. Cultures, it's the butter is heavily used, and cream. So, but yeah, football season is here. I guess the Super Bowl is going to be coming. I think Rihanna's performing in the Super Bowl. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, I'm too late, eh? I'm gonna go and try anyways. Maybe I'll get something else. But yeah, I was gonna go 7 o'clock this morning. I should have went 7 o'clock this morning, but I didn't get there. Hopefully, I pray I get even just 2 butter. If I can get 2 butter, I'll just put them in the freezer. At least I have something to last. But I've never seen that on sale. But yeah, Rihanna's singing, performing at the Super Bowl. What do you guys think of that? I think I like her. I think she's a good entertainer, so I think I'm going to enjoy that. I don't know who else is performing. I didn't hear anything, so you guys can let me know. I think most of us who are not football fans watch the Super Bowl just for the halftime show. That's what I do. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like football, but the halftime show has become an epic thing over the last few years. I think even U2 performed there one time. Yeah, man, they got some good groups performing. Janet, well, we all have with Janet Jackson. Lord have mercy, the poor woman. Um, and the big scandal. The people act like they never seen breasts before. Like, really? Oh, the children be watching this stuff more than you think. Anyways, let's not go there. Let's not go there. But that whole thing was like, really? You haven't seen breasts before? Is it because Janet Jackson now the big, my goodness. I don't know why they made the woman's life so difficult over a nipple. Anyways, Rihanna's gonna be singing. I don't even know if her baby father's in jail or not. I don't remember what happened, but he's gotten into some legal problems. I love her Fenty product. Good morning, Planta. How is the pepper sauce, Planta? Did you use jalapenos, Planter? I haven't finished watching your replay because I have to go back to watch the beginning. Because I have jalapenos in my garden that needs to harvest. I was gonna make jalapeno poppers, but I don't know. Maybe I can just harvest the seeds and just make a pepper sauce. I don't know what to do with them, to be honest. And my dad's former neighbor, he moved now, but he took all the peppers out of his freezer and he made pepper sauce by the cases, and he gave us a whole case of pints of pepper sauce. And his sauce is hot. I have enough pepper sauce to last me for the rest of my natural life on this earth till I'm at least 70 something. Because I still have a jar in my fridge of his pepper sauce, and I have a brand new jar that I heard the seal pop. I heard it pop, so I put that in the fridge. But I think if it didn't pop, it still would be okay, right? If it popped real hot, Lord, yeah, the sauce is hot. Somebody's like, oh, this man can't make no sauce. It's not gonna be hot. The man ate the sauce, and the man. If you eat too much hot peppers, you'll end up in the bathroom. So he had to go to the he ended up with diarrhea. And eat this thing like it was, and then it burn, and it clean out his whole inside on fire. The sauce, he assumed that, oh, this guy can't make no sauce hotter than my sauce. The sauce was hot. It tricks up on you. Let me see here. Hold on. Oh, it's real hot. Let me see what Sam is saying. Yeah, I should have went earlier. See, the pepper and eggplant sandwich with hummus sounds. Yeah, I roast the peppers in the toaster oven and the eggplant. Like, yellow peppers, red peppers, green peppers, eggplant, even zucchini, or like, you mix it all up in olive oil or avocado oil, salt, pepper, even garlic powder, whatever flavors you like, and you roast them, and then you layer them on your sandwich. So you can use it as a sandwich, like a bread, or you can use the wraps, the taco wrap, the fajita wraps to do a wrap. And yeah, I use the hummus as the butter, and then you put your lettuce. If you want tomato, you can use vegan cheese or real cheese. But yeah, you can make a nice sandwich with just the vegetables. Oh, he's ASAP is free from charges. I figured Rihanna money bailed him out. I don't know. Well, I'm not sure. We'll see. I don't know. Is it vinegar based or the hot sauce? No. Well, I can't say no. It's the sauce is so thick, it's like a paste. When I say sauce, it's not sauce. You cannot pour it. You have to put a knife in it, and take a little piece and spread it on what you want to spread it on. It's thick. So I think he just literally blended up all the peppers, I think he put a bit of vinegar in it. I think you have to preserve it, but it's a paste. And yeah, he just said, I'm not going to carry the peppers with him. Didn't want to move without. So he just defrosted all the peppers that he had over the years because he grows. What I didn't know that you can freeze the peppers and then still use them again for hot sauce. I've always thought it has to be fresh, fresh, fresh. So he grows peppers every year. And then some years he said, I'm not going to grow them because I have enough in the freezer from before. So he had a whole stockpile of pepper. And he went outside with his big pot and the burner. And he has to make it outside because it's like pepper spray, and his wife cannot tolerate it. She cannot breathe when he was doing it in the house. So he has to go outside with a big stock pot and do it outside because she cannot breathe. Let me see what him said. Slice the jalapenos and boil them in your favorite vinegar and store them for, oh, that's how you store the peppers? So I'm making like a pickle thing. Okay. I'm going to harvest the seeds because I bought these jalapenos from the nursery. I've never grown them before. But same thing I did with the cayenne pepper. I bought it and then I started harvesting my own seeds from it. And I don't have to buy seeds and I don't have to buy the starts. But I do go to the nursery every year and try to spend at least $10, maybe $20, to buy things to support my local nursery. Because if you don't support your local nursery, they may go out of business. So you need to try to keep these stores in business. Maybe it's some type of olive oil. Yeah, it's a solid clump. Let me see if I get one. Hold on. Let me get one because it's in the fridge. I'll show you. Yeah, it looks like pasta sauce. So you can see it now. I don't want to, if I move too much, it looks like pasta sauce. This bottle is from 2018 or 2019. I labeled it way after, and it has a canning lid and a canning ring. So it was actually, no, this one is, I thought the lid popped off, the seal popped, but when I'm looking at it now, the seal is down. So I think the one that popped is another one, a more recent one, because I know I heard the seal of one of them pop, but it moves a little bit. Oh, it's actually capturing it, but it's not, it's thick. And one of these jars will last me for 2 years. And the man gave us a whole case. So I don't know what, I may have to sell it in the pepper market because I can't go through that. But yeah, Planter did the hot sauce. Check out the video. Planter, type #urban in the chat to drop your link for your channel so people who have not connected with you can connect with you. His channel is more of a natural base. It's excellent channel. Show you how to grow food the natural way and without all the excess fancy stuff from the store, the fertilizer. I don't think the man has ever used bone meal or blood meal. I don't see him using no Miracle Grow. I don't see him using hardly any water and just out here roughing it and growing a lot of food. So for those of you who are not connected with Planter Garden, please, when him drop the link, connect with him and learn what he's doing over there. But I think I'm gonna have to. I need to preserve my food better. But roast the pepper and carrots, add vinegar puree, and make the perfect hot sauce. Oh, roast the pepper. Okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful. The pepper. Okay, yeah, I see your link. So he dropped the link. It's a beautiful sauce. I am gonna start eating more pepper because I think from what they say, they say it's high. Peppers are high in vitamin C. Peppers are very anti-inflammatory and good for your immune system. And we know in this season, immune system is very important. So I have to build up my tolerance again for hot food. I know people don't like it, and it's because it ruins the taste of the food. And in some cases, it does if it's too much. But you do have to build up a tolerance because It does something. It helps with your circulation. It helps with so much stuff. Do your own research. Um, do your own research and see what would work for you. But there's a reason why these things, food is on this earth, and it has some benefit. So, see how it can help you. Yeah, he did a great job with his pepper sauce. I have to go back and watch the replay. I think he used jalapeno, and I have jalapeno. And I don't know if I really want to make the pepper poppers, because the pepper poppers have cream cheese, which I probably shouldn't have no cheese with my current issue with eczema. And they want you to wrap them in bacon. And I don't really feel like eating swine right now. So let me just do something that's not involving cheese or any kind of swine. So I think I'll just do a pepper sauce, and I'll keep some of the jalapenos. I'm going to slice some of them and freeze them because I like jalapeno in my cornbread. So I'm going to keep some small bits like chopped up in a freezer bag, and I'll add them to the cornbread when I do my cornbread. That would taste good. I have never used bone or blood or bone meal in my garden either. Never heard of it till YouTube. Yeah, I was gonna buy some yesterday at the HD, but I didn't because I'm thinking Planter already knows. I talk about it all the time. His techniques work. They do work, but I was having some challenges with the container garden because they weren't getting enough food. He has a compost in the back of his property, like natural compost, broken down trees, and microorganisms and stuff like that. So for those of us who don't have access to that, or our compost is still breaking down and it hasn't made itself available yet to use, I need to add something to the pots, especially when I'm going to plant next spring. I need to put something back into the pots. So I do chop and drop. I do keep all the debris that's good, and the old like tomato plants, the beans and the peas and all, and I let them break down. But I don't have enough in the compost bin to feed all of the containers. So I'm trying to, and when I get the chickens, that will be definitely good compost. But the chicken compost has to be left for several months before you can use it. So the only other option, I think somebody was showing a process of making the chicken compost available right away. I can't remember what that's called, or I'll have to get rabbit poop. So I know G Mama has a rabbit, so maybe she's collecting the manure and using it in her garden. I'll definitely assume that because she knows the value of it. So maybe I have to get a rabbit. But yeah, chop and drop works. But sometimes when I do the chop and drop, because I'm in a cold climate, or the compost is not getting hot enough. This is twofold. If I do chop and drop them in the compost bin where there's an active heat and it's going to break down, that's fine. If I chop and drop in my beds, they freeze over the winter and they don't really break down. It's a slower process, which is also good. It's a slow process. You put your soil on top and then you can still plant it in the spring, but they're breaking down slowly. If I was in a warmer climate, maybe that would get faster results. So I don't know. I need something more bioavailable. I do use the kitchen scraps. Yes, Nikki. I do like my eggshells. I use help to break down the fat and burn more energy. Hello? I need to burn the fat. That's right. Burn off that fat. But yeah, the kitchen scraps and compost tea. So I do have to do that. I don't have a barrel to do that as of yet. So I'm trying to find another way without using the compost tea. I don't know if I want the compost. I want the compost, but I don't know if I want it now because my focus is the chickens. I don't know. I know the compost tea smells stink. Will it be a deterrent for my neighbor? Will it turn off my neighbors when I'm opening? Like, I don't know. So I'm just being cautious because I already got the okay for the chickens when it comes to them, and they're not going to report me. But I don't want something that's going to stink and turn them off. So, but I do use banana water because that's pretty easy to do and it doesn't stink. You can substitute the filling for the peppers and make a mince filling from tuna, ground chicken, or chorizo. Okay. Okay. Because the only one I saw was the cheese. And I don't think I should have no cheese right now. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how to balance what Planter is saying and what the results that I want to get. Because a lot of my plants, not all of them, some of them did not perform as much as before. The beans were good, but my fault was I should have harvested more often. The bell peppers were okay, but again, the drought and all the other problems that we had. I got shisu plant. I don't know what to do with the plant. The plant is still out there and flowering, so I guess I just cut off the leaves and dry them and make tea. So that's another task to do. I don't know if it's gonna propagate. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I have all these new plants that I planted and I'm trying to learn how to do them. I have new trees, so I'm trying to figure out how to balance. The okra did fine. The okra did no problem. My flowers, my marigolds, and my zinnias did not barely grow. One zinnia pop up now, and it's fall. So I don't know what happened with those beds, but you have to really take a stock of what you're doing and what is not working, and rebound quickly, because you don't want to get discouraged. And you don't want to. I have such a such a short growing season. I don't want to waste the time with things that are not going to produce. I don't have the time to rebound like other people. You all have in the South have a whole fall garden. You can grow food till December. You're growing big food and feeding your family. I can't grow nothing out here in the winter. The only thing that can grow is something that would be in a greenhouse, and I don't have a greenhouse. I would have to protect it. Good morning, Miss Patty. I would have to protect it from the elements. So that's not available right now. So I need to find a way to fertilize my containers. Because, for instance, I think I mentioned if you're on Instagram, at the parents' garden, the cauliflower headed. They have a beautiful purple head. I have 2 purple cauliflowers, no head. I went in and opened the leaves about Thursday. And when I went, beautiful, healthy leaves, I'm going to start using them for juicing or cooking. When I go deep into it, one of them has pure aphids. You wouldn't notice it from outside, but pure aphids. I have to spray it down and powder it down, and they're sucking the life out of it. Maybe that's what happened. I have a different cauliflower, 2 in the back raised bed, no head. My kohlrabi look at okay, but they look little bit. They're not big like. So I'm not sure what the issue is. They are growing, they are flourishing, they are getting leaves. I believe there's a scientific solution. Like if your plant is getting more leaves and not getting fruit or the heads, maybe there's too much of one and not enough of the other. I think it said nitrogen. I don't know what it would be, but I have to figure that out, ask around, and then address it now in the fall so that they can break down, so that when I plant in the spring, I'll have better success. Nothing wrong with leaves. I love cabbage leaves, broccoli leaves, cauliflower leaves. The leaves are just as good as the actual item you're growing, but you do want to see some results. Like you don't want to be growing and you have nothing to show for it. I have to end up going back to the store to go buy Brussels sprouts. I don't have one Brussels, not one sprout, nothing. My kale's fine. It's doing okay now that the worms are finished. My beetroots, same thing. Like I gotta, so my fall garden update or my end of season update is the garden went well, but I did not get the production that I had in times past. Part of it is that I expanded what I was growing, as we all should. We need to take more risks and grow different foods and try different things so that we're not just stuck with the same old. I grew about 3 different types of spinach. I only always used to grow 1. I grew about 3 or 4. Some made it, some bolted right away. They couldn't handle the stress. I planted some now. They seem to be doing well, but a lot of the seeds didn't germinate. Some of it was a squirrel. Some of it was just the seeds didn't germinate. I harvested a lot of seeds this year from my stuff. But again, as I tell you guys, I'm not harvesting seeds every year. I harvested jalapeno, that African pepper. I'm only going to plant like 4 or 5 a season. And if I harvest every second year, I have more than enough. I'm not harvesting seeds every season. I'm going to pick the best crop every second year and harvest those seeds. And that will still give me enough seeds to have for myself and to give away and to, whatever. I don't need to harvest seeds every season. I've seen how much seeds are produced from even my arugula. I harvested some of the seeds. I left the rest on to dry out a bit more. I have enough seeds because I'm not going to be planting a whole field of arugula. So it's a bit different for me versus people who have a large acreage and are planting like rows and rows of the same thing. I'm planting like 3 or 4 of each thing the most to feed myself and to give away to my neighbors and friends. I don't need to plant more than 4 of each thing. So, people were like, no, you got to save. I do save seeds. I don't have to save lettuce seeds every season. Lettuce is so easy to seed. Spinach bolts so easily that, you get seeds without even really trying. So that's all I'm saying. I'm trying to use my time a bit more effectively. And I'm going to start. Yes, that's very nutrient dense. You have to remember, you have to balance your time and your energy and your resources. And when you're doing things alone, like I'm doing it by myself, I got to focus my energy where it's more important. And this year, it's more important to figure out why my plants aren't producing, how I can continue to build my soil, and how I can keep these wicked animals from eating my food. Is there anything you grew this year that you wouldn't grow again next year? I'm going to say it's not, I want to say maybe mustard greens. The mustard greens, I like mustard greens, but they were attacked. The whole time was spent fighting these bugs and these mites and whatever these little holes were in. It looked like a piece of lace. The mustard green had all these holes in it. It looked like lace. So I don't think I can grow mustard greens here in the spring. I probably should have planted some right now in the fall to see if they would take, but maybe I'll grow the mustard greens in the hydroponics. So I'm going to say I'm not going to grow it again, not because I don't like it, but because it didn't work. It didn't work outside. It was too much. But that being said, I'm going to contradict myself. I may grow mustard greens outdoors next spring as a trap crop to get the bugs to go to the mustard green and leave other things alone. So now that I'm talking out loud and thinking about it, if I do grow the mustard greens, it bolted too fast. I had to put it in the shade to even make it last. It's still out there now. To even make it last, it had to be in the shade. But maybe I'll use that as a trap crop. And I grew fennel this year. You all know what happened with those 6 caterpillars. If you're on my, it's on YouTube and I think it's on Instagram. So yeah, the caterpillars. I love fennel. But my fennel did not form a bulb. It was just like a thin, like a celery stalk. It did not form a bulb. And those caterpillars were ridiculous. But I have a lot of fennel seeds, number one. The fennel attracted a lot of pollinators. So I might have to plant the fennel, but not near other things. Plant a fennel way at the back to attract the pollinators, and they can lay their little eggs over there, and then plant fennel somewhere else. But I did not get a fennel bulb, and I love fennel for juicing. It just adds flavor to the green juice, like a licorice taste. And the green juice just, man, with the pineapple and So, but I will grow it again. I think I could just give up on fennel, but it has so much benefits. I'm going to try again. Celery did not go too good this year, but a part of it was my fault. I have a challenge keeping up with the watering, especially container gardens dry out very fast. Then I'm using grow bags, and the grow bags dry out even faster. So it's not the crop, it's the process of maintaining it that was very difficult. But I'm going to cut all the pink celery down, and I'm going to put them in the dehydrator, and I'm going to just make celery powder, celery salt, like make my own celery seasoning and use that to cook with. So it's not a waste, but it wasn't the best turnout. And I love arugula. I did not know arugula was, I knew it was nice, but when you grow your own, it's whoa. So I'm going to grow arugula, Brussels sprouts, and the cauliflower. I'm not going to put so much effort into it, but I am going to try it again. The first years of growing cauliflower, the seeds would not germinate. I got them to germinate, so I got those in the back. The ones at the front, I purchased the purple cauliflower. Did not get one purple head, so I don't know what went wrong, but I'm going to try again. I don't want to, I don't dislike anything. What was the question? Everything that I grew, I like. I only picked things that I enjoy eating. I also tried fennel in my juice, buying it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try growing it. And now you realize it's not as easy to grow as you once thought. So I'm going to try some of these things again. I'm going to do some more research. I got that seed saving book from the library. So I got some tips. I dried my seeds out on the plant and I brought them in and let them dry on a napkin and just dry out. So all my surfaces, you see plates of just seeds and bowls of seeds. It looks messy, but I'm letting them dry out for another week before I bag them. And they seem to be okay. And somebody said put a piece of paper towel in there. But I let them dry out just in case. I've took out the trash and the shells out of the thing and just put the seeds in there. And anything that's like lettuce and too hard to break up, I cut the whole pod and put those in paper bags because the paper bags seem to let them breathe a bit better. So some things are going to be in paper bags. Some things are going to be in plastic bags, depending on the seed and depending on how dry they were able to be dried out. So I have enough seeds. There are some crops that next year I am going to try, different varieties of tomatoes. The jalapeno I'm going to grow on my own from seed. So that's going to be a first for me doing it from seed. I don't think there's anything that I grow that I didn't like or that I wouldn't grow again. I had some challenges, but it's not the fault of the plant or me not liking it. It was just the circumstances. The circumstances were very difficult. Most of us had drought this season. It was difficult to keep up with the watering. But as I said, Planter Garden had excellent tips on mixing your potting soil effectively to hold moisture. That definitely worked. But I need to work on some kind of automated watering system. Either a drip feed or even just having a hose set up with a sprinkler that I can just turn on and it does its thing for 45 minutes and I turn it off. Because me going to hand water some of the stuff is not feasible with the amount of food that I'm growing. And I'm going to add chickens to the mix. So yeah, I don't have any complaints about what I selected to grow. Yeah, fennel tea. Yeah, I love fennel tea. Like I'm and even that. So you know what? Fennel tea. Because all my fennel is going to seed. It has seeds. I'm going to collect the seeds. So you can use fennel for cooking. I think you can make the tea with the seeds, I guess. I've bought fennel tea from the store, but I don't see any leaves on my fennel. That's what I'm saying. I don't see any leaves. Good morning, Miss Audrey. So, but I'm going to try everything again. I'm going to focus on things that can tolerate drought and things that can handle cold. And I'm focusing that on my fruit trees. There's a pawpaw tree. Pawpaw trees do very well in my climate. Apple trees do well in my climate. Pear trees, even peaches that can handle cold. I'm going to be focusing only, and fig trees, on things that can survive outdoors on their own. Once my fig tree is more mature, I'll leave her outside. If I have to wrap them in burlap, I will, but I do not want to have to be moving big old trees and big old things because, again, it's me alone. Even with a dolly, it's not easy to move those big buckets when I put them on top of the hill. So they'll have to be winter tolerant. Pawpaws taste like mangoes and bananas, so I'm going to definitely try that. I did not order trees early enough. I did not realize you got to order them pretty much like looking now. So you can order them by, I guess, end of winter to get them right away. So I'm going to order some trees. I tried this Calamandan orange. There's no leaves on the Calamandan orange. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know if it's dead. I don't know. It's still there. I I think half of it's dead and half of it's alive. I tried, so but I'm going to focus more on plants that can handle my climate first and foremost. Then I'll venture back into citrus plants and figure out. I think I wasn't feeding it the right food. I think what it wants in the soil composition, I don't think I gave it the right stuff. I think there's a cactus blend that you're supposed to like. I don't know, but I'm gonna watch people who do citrus indoors in the cold climate and figure out what they're doing and just copy them until I can figure out how to modify what they've taught me. But yeah, what did you guys plant that you didn't like? Like songs, what do you don't like? I don't know if you're there, G Mama, Cena, Renee, Lashes. Are there things that you guys planted that you're like, nah, I'm done with that? Or are you just gonna try it again? You realize that it just wasn't the weather just wasn't cooperating with you and you're gonna try it again. Let me see what you guys are growing in your areas. I know Cena Renee is working in the community garden. Um, they're growing a lot of food there, man. She's showing little clippets, but they're growing a lot of food over there. Like wow. I'm hoping you guys are getting more volunteers to help you with the food, but I don't know how people can't grow their own food. I know it's a lot of work and it's a lot of time, but I get so much more out of it than I'm really putting in. I'm getting more emotionally, psychologically, I'm getting more spiritually. I'm getting a lot more than I'm putting into the garden, really and truly. So I don't know how people can not grow their own food. Going to the store and just buying something and going home with it is so disconnected from the way the world works. You're just so disconnected. And I think all of you guys are growing food for not just for the food, but for other reasons. And it's been for all of us, we've all said it's been therapy for us. That has been our free therapy. The gym, it's been exercise. You lost your squash, but you'll try again. Yep, I lost my, and it was my fault as well. I planted things too late, and the beetle that does the vine borer bug, I saw him in my garden, him or her, and so they know I have a garden and squash over here. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to grow a lot more food to compensate for the losses with the insects next year. Yes, I am there, and three sisters gardens. Yes, and there are three sister gardens. I'm missing them while I'm in Georgia. Oh man, that's good. I think that's an excellent way to get a community together. I've in my neighborhood, there is a community garden that was built at the community center. There used to be a splash pad. I don't know if the splash pad is still there for the children, but I see some raised beds and a garden. When I go to some other cities, I see some community gardens. Some have a whole fence around them and they're properly, protected. But I see a lot of homeless people in the community. So I don't know if the homeless people are taking the food. I don't know. I'm not saying they are, but I don't know why they have a fence. But they have maybe the dogs too. People walk their dogs in the park, and maybe the animals were digging up the garden. That could be the reason why they're digging up the garden and the plants and ruining the crops. But a lot of people, and I'm not seeing a lot of volunteers. Like I'm driving by and I haven't seen a lot of people working. Maybe I'm missing when they're working or I'm not passing by at the right time, but they are community gardens. People are trying to bring back that community in the environment and people talking to each other and sharing and learning about each other's cultural foods. They're trying to bring that in, but when you're in a cold climate, the winter really just kind of like you takes a hit and you had to resume again in the spring. So I'm hoping, hey Cassandra, I'm hoping that they can find a way to kind of do an indoor garden, but they would have to get the city to approve it and give them a space. For me, this one tomato variety called Old German was a waste of space. It only grew 4 huge tomatoes and took forever to ripen. Planning to get something more productive, like I've never heard of chocolate sprinkles. Let me write that down. I've never heard of chocolate sprinkles. Hold on, let me get my notepad, which is probably going to make the computer tilt. Hold on, it's underneath the computer. Give me a second. Yeah, you might see me tilted, but I removed my notebook. Let me write this down. This is, I've never heard it. Just hearing the word chocolate sounds so like, Let me look up that, and I have a list. I keep some of my when I'm going to plant, I have a notebook. Oh, you're not going to see nothing. This book is just so, but I have a notebook and I write down what I'm going to plant and each season. So basically by January, I'm going to be planning what I'm going to be planting in my garden. Not because I don't want to plant certain things, but I have to plan it based on the space. And I'm planning it with my parents' space so that we can grow different things and we can share each other's harvest. And if I have to grow more squash, I can't just grow 2 each. I have to grow like 4 to compensate for the bugs. I might have to limit. Let me see. Chalk tomatoes, chocolate sprinkles. I like that name. My goodness. Yeah, and you see, that's a good lesson to learn because if you have a huge property and you're planting like 50 of your old German, then you don't mind. You're going to get a lot of tomatoes. But if you're in a small space, you're like, you need something that's going to produce. That's exactly it. We need things that are going to produce. Miss Patty saying, I almost lost my spinach, but my fault for yes, even that. I have overwatered many things and I've let things, my basil is actually still alive because I forget to water it most times. And you guys said, yeah, don't, just water it here and there. Don't let it get dry, but don't leave it wet. And the squirrels kept stealing my black crim for some reason. Is that tomato? Black crim? That sounds good too. I want to try the Cherokee one. That's nice. I was shocked to see a community garden in Red End, Georgia. Oh, that's good. So people are really coming together and growing food. Yep. Good morning, Miss Cassandra. And let me see who else is. Oh, you're just saying good morning to each other. I make a plan. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I have a notebook and I plan out my stuff, what I'm going to plant. And then I plan out things that I want to try for the first time. And then I determine, okay, how much, and I write down how many of each I expect to get. I want to plant, sorry. So I can plan how much seed trays I need and how many peat pellets I need. And, it's all connected to budgeting and figuring out what you need. Then I have a spreadsheet that I use. I downloaded for free on Google. And it tells you put in your frost date and it tells you when you have to start certain seeds from based on the spreadsheet and also based on what you've inputted. So when you look at your seed packet, it tells you how many days for germination and tells you all the stuff. You have to calculate the formula, if you know how to use Excel, to tell the Excel sheet how many days for germination, and it deducts those days from this frost date so you can know when to start your seeds. So it works back. It helps you work backwards. So that way you can start your seeds early enough so that you can start planting outside right when your soil is ready. I've also learned, and I'll share this tip, maybe it will help you in a cold climate. There are certain seeds I will no longer start indoors. There are certain plants that you can plant directly outside when snow is still out there. Like you would move the pots maybe somewhere and, let the pot warm up so that the soil's not frozen, or the grow bag. And you plant your carrots outside early because it can handle the cold. You can plant your spinach out early. I have a list here. I'll read it to you. I got it from a YouTuber, but I'll read you the list, and then I can drop the channel link that I'm talking about in the description bar. You can plant beets out earlier. Hold on. Is this the right list? Hold on. I think I'm looking at the wrong list. I tell you the wrong list. Oh, here. Vegetables you can plant before the last frost. Spinach, radish, cabbage, broccoli, kale, arugula, carrots, onions, lettuce, Swiss chard, and peas. And I've proven everything on this list except for the cabbage, broccoli, kale, and peas. I start those seeds indoors, let them get to a certain size. But what I did learn is this. There are seeds you can start directly outside before the last frost, and there are plants you can transplant outside before the last frost. And I have planted cabbage, broccoli, and kale outside before the last frost. And I didn't cover them up. And someone's like, oh, they're gonna die, and they're like laughing at me because it looks stupid. But I watched this YouTuber. He's in a cold climate, and the cabbage was fine. And I was getting cabbage and broccoli and kale before anybody else that year because we transplanted them early. Now you can cover them with plastic to make like a greenhouse. You can cover them with the hoops and cover them with fleece, garden, the warming cloth or the plastic. You can cover them with old 1-liter pop bottles and cut and cover them and make your own little domes. You can get a plastic, I guess it's called a cloche. You can plant things outside before the last frost. And I know for a fact, cabbage, broccoli, kale, and I think even arugula can handle the cold. So that frees up my time starting seeds indoors. So this year, I'm going to try planting the cabbage and the kale directly outside, covering them with some kind of plastic tote to keep them warm, and let nature germinate them and start them for me. And if it's before the last frost, the soil is going to be already damp and wet. You're not going to need to water. So I'm trying to figure out a way in a cold climate to let nature do a lot of the work for me. And other things that need to be started indoors to ensure that they're strong seedlings, I will start those inside. Hey, good morning, Naturally Nikisha. So, and how are you, Nikisha? Were you okay with the hurricane? I know it was your first time in Florida, so let us know if everything was okay over there. Everyone's safe, and everything is going well over there. So that's what I'm working on. So I will share that stuff as I learn more and make like short videos so that you have more concise information, not just babbling all over the place. So you can get a concise. But I know for a fact if you're in a cold climate, I went out in the cold and I planted those carrot seeds. I planted a lot of those, and they did their own thing and they're fine. I covered the carrots with cardboard to prevent the animals from digging them up. Do not give yourself more work. If certain seeds can germinate easily, let nature do the work for you. And you don't have to be sunny and bright. Certain plants will grow well in the cold, frosty climate. The lettuce will germinate there, So that's an idea for some of you maybe who can say, you know what, that will free up your time. If it can handle the cold, I don't have to baby them. And it actually makes your plants more resilient and stronger. I think, let me see what I missed. I'm going to wrap it up soon, but just give me a moment. The chocolate sprinklers are a nice grape-sized variety that have pretty stripes and taste delicious for snacking. Yes, black crim is another tomato. Was only only able to save one that I took off green. Okay, I'll look that up because I know the Cherokee, like all the different brands, I've heard them, and I've tried the Rutgers for the first time this year, and I can't remember which is which because when I harvest them, I just start eating them. I don't remember which is which, but I believe the Rutgers was very nice, and I grew up one plant of an orange tomato. Only one tomato grew on that plant. I got one tomato, but the tomato looks so cute, and I think I'm going to grow some more orange tomatoes. I like the texture of it. It just, something is different about it. So yeah, I'm going to try some. Exactly. Tomatoes are a staple over here, but I am going to try different types of tomatoes. We are good so far. I was not affected by the hurricane. We had rain, a lot of wind, but no flooding in my area. Thank God. Okay, thank God. That's good to hear. But yeah, guys, keep growing. If you don't have a garden, if you happen to be on my live, don't have a garden, try to have a garden. If you don't have a warm climate, try to at least do something indoors. I don't recommend soil, but if that's all you have and you have a way, if you have a separate sunroom, then yes. If you don't have no separate space where they're not really in your house, then I don't recommend soil. But do your own research because maybe you have better techniques to keep the bugs down. But try to at least grow your lettuce and your spinach and even your mustard greens. Those are healthy, leafy greens. They grow quite quickly, they germinate quite quickly, and you don't have to rely on the store as much. I don't have the ability to not go to the store. That's not really possible. But I am trying to not rely on the store for leafy greens. And during the summertime, I don't buy not a one tomato from the store. Between my garden and my parents' garden, we have enough tomatoes and enough to can. Um, there was some waste this year. Something's rotten on the vine. Again, I wasn't going to check that. They had to maintain their own garden, and then they had some construction projects. So stuff happened. We also this year got a lot of volunteer tomatoes. Well, if they're rotting on the vine and dropping on the soil, the seeds are all in the ground and they're going to just pop up next year. So we had volunteer lettuce, and volunteer just a lot of stuff. And because we know what the plant looks like, we knew it wasn't a weed. We have volunteer callaloo. We haven't planted callaloo back there in years. Callaloo. Um, I I got corn. I did not get any corn this year. I did not get any corn, but I got something called, I can't even tell you the name. It's some I think Psalms 146. Your speak Spanish. Who hutacuche hulacuche, which is like the mold or the mushroomy thing in the corn that forms if it doesn't form properly. I put it on Instagram. I'm like, what is this? And someone goes, oh, that's a Mexican delicacy. So what I thought was, I'm going to do a short on this, a short. But what I thought was a fail may have actually been a win. So I thought it was a mega fail. I planted 5 corns, did not get 1 corn. But I learned how to grow corn. I learned that corn can grow in a container, and I actually grew a delicatessen that people aim to grow. I grew it by accident. Yeah, corn smut, but it's called hutlakuche. I don't know the word there. Some starts with the H, but it says I don't know, some long word. Let me look up the word. It's some long word, and it formed. So grow something. That's right. FR, grow something, please. Grow something. It's not just to grow the food. You'll feel a sense of pride. You'll feel just, like you've accomplished something. It'll help you feel like you can meet new challenge. That's the word. Hutla kuche, hutla koche. I want to say coochie, but it's not coochie. Coche, couch. Anyways, that's the word. Yes, I don't speak Spanish, and that word to me is weird because I don't have the language, because it's who like W, but I would say hutala. Anyways, forgive me. That I grew that. So there's a picture on Instagram. So if you want to see it, check my Instagram. I will do a short. I didn't eat it. I was gonna throw it out. It's in my kitchen on a plate, and I think I'm gonna make scrambled eggs with it. Pray for me, guys. Pray for me. I'm gonna try it because they swear that it's good for you. It's good bacteria. I'm gonna cook it in some olive oil and scramble some eggs in it, and hopefully you'll see me next week to talk about it. Because if you don't see me next week, it didn't go too good. I'm not feeling good. Hopefully, but I'm gonna try it because if y'all been eating it for years and generations, then obviously it's okay. It's not appealing visually. I would never eat mold, but it seems to be recommended. Yeah, wheat la coiche. Oh, wheat la coiche. Does that sound better? Wheat la coiche. Now that we are starting with the property, I feel like I'm and my God, I'm on my way to self-sufficiency, which feels great. Sometimes my eyes get blurry. So are you moving to Georgia? Is that what's happening, Sina? I know you have mentioned stuff in the past, but I've been out of the loop. I don't know. Are you moving from the apartment to the southern region? Or you don't have to say if it's part. Lettuce is easy to exactly. Lettuce is so you cannot mess up lettuce. Lettuce will grow on its own. If the seeds drop in the garden, next year it'll just be popping up on its own. That's what happened to us. And we just transplanted it where we want it. You can't mess it up. Just try. I'm encouraging you to try. It's not something that people want to do. Some people have no interest in gardening, but you're going to get more out of it than you realize. So please just try. So yes, I'm going to cook the wheat lecoche in some scrambled egg because I don't know what else to do with it because it's the first time ever. And I will eat it. I will not give it to my family, but I will eat it. And if you see me next week, it went well. If you don't see me next week, it didn't go too well. I used to live in Redden, Georgia. Oh, that's what Sina was talking about. Let me see what's no, my secondary residence. Okay. So you're setting up over there to grow food and stuff. That's actually good. You have that's a good option to have a second place where you can go. I'm definitely working on that. I have not determined what I'm doing because I don't know if I should work on Jamaica being the second, but then you have to fly there and all the different things that happened in the last 2 years and or Canada or maybe even like the southern regions of the States. My brother is in the States and I have cousins in Texas. I have extended family in Florida and other places. So it may, it may pan out. I definitely want to have somewhere a little warmer. I don't mind winter, but I don't want like Toronto, Buffalo weather. Somewhere that's a little more mild, that has a little less severe winter. But I'm working on that as well. I think it's important to have just land and space and freedom to grow your own food more months of the year than I'm currently experiencing. But it's not impossible. You can grow food here and you can like it's nobody's business, can, and you have enough food for the winter. But I think it's better, my opinion now, that you have your summer crop, your spring crop, summer crop. You can, like it's nobody's, but you can. And then you have still a fall garden to still have fresh produce and have a second wave because sometimes in some years you don't get a good harvest. So if you have a longer growing season, you can kind of make up and plant a second crop and have a second chance to preserve and can some food for long term. But there's pros and cons to everything and living in different places. So it's not all about gardening. But did you plant your trees, your pomegranate, Miss G Mama? But yeah, that's a good Georgia seems like a nice state to live. I wouldn't live in Atlanta. I don't want to go to another big city. Mind you, I have never been to Atlanta, but I don't think I would want to live in Atlanta. I would visit there, but I would want to live in the burbs, in the outskirts. But there's a lot of you all who live in Georgia. A lot of you that I watch live in Georgia. She lived there. She lived for 15. Hold on. I lived here for 15 years, but I had to leave. I'm back. Oh, that's good. I think you're going to enjoy that because you're going to be like, wow, you can grow so much food. You have so much space. You're not limited by the apartment. Like you're going to love having that space there. You're going to be tickled pink. But that's it for me. I'm going to wind it down. I'm going to end it now. I am going to go apple picking at 1:00. I'm going to go to the store and see if that butter is there. And I'm going to check the shed of my parents' house. I think they said there's some mice in there. Something's going on in there. Sent me some pictures. So I'll check that out. But yeah, have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to everybody else. Don't let anybody negatively impact you. And stay away from toxic energy and toxic people. Set up healthy boundaries. And, you are your own first responder, as we hear and we say. And that means protecting your peace, protecting your happiness, protecting your space, and and do your best to do that. Oh, you're potting it right now, but have a blessed week. You'll see me on the streets. I'm going to try to have, as I said, 2 lives, not every week, but because I'm trying to build the hours now before I reach the 1,000. Good morning, Crafty Leo. Oh, no problem. So I am working on that. So you'll see me around more. Oh, I didn't even drop the link today. So I completely forgot. You guys could have came up. I just talked the whole time. Just talked the whole time. But next time I'll drop. I completely forgot to drop the link. I don't think I did. But yeah, and just have a blessed week and just it's Thanksgiving. Well, in Canada it's Thanksgiving, but it's the fall season. Let's do our best. And I'm basing this off of what I watched from Darren, which is Can't Stop Walking But Love Mowing. If you see somebody, oh, so that thing is not sealed. It just popped. So this jar is not sealed. It was in the fridge and it must have like suctioned back, but it just popped again. That's why I put it in the fridge. Sorry. If you see somebody in need and you see somebody who needs food or drink, let's be helpful and give. I'm not saying you should give people money because you don't know how it's going to be spent. Use wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in everything that you do. But let's be the people. Let's be quick to help. Let's be quick to give. A lot of us are more blessed than we want to acknowledge. We want to complain, but we're more blessed than we realize. And let's not wait for somebody to have to ask. Let's be the ones to help. And if you see somebody on the side of the road who's sleeping in the cold and you can go and get a blanket or you can give them let's just be more helpful and be more conscientious of the people in our own community, okay? Do your best. If somebody needs a hot chocolate or a hot tea, go buy the hot tea or hot chocolate and give it to them. It's a cold winter. This year's going to be a really cold winter, and a lot of people live outside. Let's not wait for somebody to ask for help. If we see a need, let's be the first ones to go and help with that need. And I'm talking to myself as well. I'm not talking at you. I'm talking all of us, myself included. I'm going to make sure that I get a couple of gift cards from the local coffee shop, maybe $5 gift cards or whatever the minimum is, so that they can at least buy a coffee and a bagel. And if you see somebody in need, you give them the gift card. Okay? We've even been encouraged by even Hands in the Dirt did that. I see other people are doing that. I see Darren doing that. He went and bought somebody a whole chicken and this. Let's not wait for someone to ask, guys. Let's see what people are doing and let our heart be softened to be more helpful to people and not want anything in return, not even a thank you. If they don't say thank you, it's okay. Okay? So I'm talking to myself. I'm going to work on that. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to make sure I have gift cards and things in hand so that I can just give somebody, if you have some blankets that you're not using, wash them up nicely, put them in bags and keep them in your car. And when you're driving around and you happen to see somebody, give them the blanket. Let's do that. It's going to be a rough winter. It's going to be a cold winter, guys. And we are more blessed than we realize. So let's not wait until the winter starts. Let's have things in our vehicles. And if you see somebody, you have bottles of water already in your car. You have, what's the word? Like Ziploc bags with like care packages. If you have a church group, that's what they would do. Ask them for a few of the care packages to keep in your car so that you can give them to people. Okay, guys? Let's start changing our communities and not complaining about what needs. Let's start being the change in the community and let's show the love that we want to receive. And let's not even look for a thank you or anything in return. Let's just do it because it's the right thing to do. So that's how I'm going to end it. Welcome to October. Welcome to autumn. Enjoy your week. I'll see you in the streets. And I'll post when I'm going to be live again. I'll try to be give you notice. But yeah, blessing bags. Exactly. I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing from the community, and I want to be an encouragement back. So let me just remind you and myself, let's be a blessing to people. It will sometimes cost you a bit of money, but most of us have more than we need. Keep a case of water in your trunk. If you see somebody, give them water, a gift, a bag, a blessing bag, the essentials, warm clothes. Let's be a blessing. Take care. Have a blessed week. I'm glad to see you all. Thank you for my 789. Thank you for the supporters. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you in the week. Bye-bye.